Hello, Steve White, Steve White's 89. Well, this is interesting. Ellen appears to have been cancelled. Now, this isn't really a surprise to anyone because she went through a big controversy over the summer, several. She did something I had no respect for, and a lot of other things happened. Now, the thing that I had a real issue was when she shut down her show and was filming from her house, instead of bringing in some of her crew who were out of a job, into her home basically to film the show, she hired an independent crew because they were cheaper and she could get them non-union or some way that she actually, benefited from it. I thought that was really low considering that you have a crew that you've just basically put out of work. So I wasn't impressed with that. And I haven't liked her for a long time. I got a real sense of meanness from her and nastiness from her, from all her practical jokes. Whenever she was scaring people, I thought, there's something really behind that. There's something really nasty where and I just see little things here and there, and I like to humour sometimes, but there always seemed to be something nasty, just sort of sitting behind it, just waiting. And I didn't really buy her be nice to everyone thing. I never really liked her. Like when she came to Australia, I didn't see her. I saw Oprah, I saw Dr. Phil, but I didn't see Ellen. I didn't make the effort. I nearly did just because she was Ellen. Because, there's a little bit of mixed feelings in this because I'm happy she's kind of cancelled. But obviously I was around back in the day when Ellen came out and it was a big deal. And it did make a lot of difference, and it made it made it easier for people to come out and to talk about it with straight people who didn't get a lot of exposure to gay people. So when someone that they knew and were familiar with, which was Ellen, because Ellen was basically a character on a show, it sort of made a difference. It was a talking point. My brother even mentioned it to me, and I'm like, it really has been felt everywhere. So I liked her for that, and I respected that she had done a lot of work for the community, although I felt bad that she got cancelled after that with her I was going to say reality show, then I was going to say talk show, with her sitcom. Then she tried to do another Ellen show, that failed. Then she came back with the talk show and it did really well. And I was kind of happy that there was an LGBT presence, but then I was aware that people didn't like her. Like my sister couldn't stand her, and some other people. And I was looking at her, I'm like, yeah, there's something off with her. I don't really, something about her I don't really like. And I'd usually just watch Dr. Phil instead of her, even though she was entertainment and he was usually just talking to white trash who didn't know any better, and kind of dull. I'd usually watch him instead because I just didn't like her energy. And I wish I'd said that before all this, because now it just looks like I'm just jumping on, the dog pile basically. But she got caught out where she was basically outed for being horrible to people she worked for, and just a long line of neurotic, controlling, obsessive, creepy, nasty things. Like she didn't like someone allegedly, she didn't like someone on her security staff, and they had gotten a better job somewhere else to get away from her. She manipulated things to get them hired back for more money just so she could fire them. She couldn't fire them because they'd left, so she got them back so she could fire them. Just incredibly petty things like that, having people fired for looking at her, not being allowed to look her in the eye. And I've seen people talk about being interviewed by her, interviewing her, and being told they couldn't look her in the eye and all this stuff, and it is true apparently. A lot of people have come out and said it's all true. She does treat people like that. This whole be kind to everyone is just fake. And once you break something like that, once you shatter that sort of illusion, you're kind of done, and her ratings never recovered. And now here's the really interesting part of the whole thing, the whole lie. She's saying, she chose to end her show. She always had chose to end her show at this point. She said she was supposed to be renewed. She was going to leave the show at 16 years. And they wanted her to do one more year, but then they said, well, you can't just do one more year. You have to do more because the affiliates and all that won't take that. So she did 19. She decided 3 more, so that'd be 19, which doesn't make a lot of sense because they want her back for the 20th year. So she left that out of the negotiations so she could negotiate for 20 plus and get a lot more money for it. And that's what they were doing. So they were supposed to renegotiate after 19 for year 20 and all that. But yeah, apparently they lost interest. Apparently they didn't want to. So it's just like, well, we're not going to actually fire you and cancel you because the Lord knows we don't want the gay community who don't realize you're evil and don't care that you're evil because you're a gay icon, and we turn a blind eye to gay people that do the wrong thing because representation. That's true. I've seen it in my personal life, in the gay community, in my own community, and just in Hollywood and that. I've seen that. So, yeah, that's what they're doing. So they didn't want to cancel her for that reason. So they're like, okay, well, we're just going to let you write out your contract. You can do your 19th year, which is the next year. And then, we just won't renew you for another year, and we'll be happy to see you go. And, you'll be happy to go, won't you, Ellen? And she's like, well, yes, I need a new challenge. And that's what she's saying on the show. Well, I'm an artistic, creative person, and artistic and creative people need challenges. And I needed a challenge, and, I had to move on and do something else to be challenged. I'm like, yeah, you're challenged. Yeah, so I don't respect the fact that she's not being honest about this, but that's what lying, narcissistic, evil people do. They don't tell the truth. They can't tell the truth because they don't know what the truth is. I think she's one of those people. She has no idea, and I just feel bad for Portia. Our Portia, she's Australian. She's ours. We liked that she was with Ellen because Ellen was famous and she was rich, and we thought, oh, one of our girls did well. And it's like, oh, what's she living with really? What kind of person is Ellen really? Is she really an alcoholic? Is she really abusive? Is Portia really suffering? This is the rumours that we've been hearing for a while. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. I've never met them, even though she lives in Melbourne. Her family lives in Melbourne, and she comes to Melbourne. She's been to Melbourne regularly. I have never met her. Don't know her. Don't know anyone who knows her. See, normally I know someone who knows someone. When Ian Fort was in the closet, I knew he was gay because I knew people that knew him. And just a whole bunch of things like that. But I don't know anything about the Ellen situation, so I do not know what's happening with her and Portia. I don't know what's happening inside of her little industry. But I was wondering, I thought this was going to happen. I thought they were going to cancel her when all this happened. And I realise now, well, they only had to write out one more year in her contract. So rather than go through all the controversy of cancelling a gay icon, they just decided to let her write it out. And she announced it today on the show, but she wasn't honest about it. And that's the saddest thing. She's just going to keep being fake and keep being pretend and keep doing her fake, be nice to everyone thing. And yeah, I wouldn't mind if I never saw her again. Much like Sharon Osbourne and a few other people, I really don't mind. I never said cancel Ellen. I never did any videos or hashtags or anything saying get rid of her, she's horrible. But I didn't like her, and I'm happy she's gone. Sometimes cancel culture works, and it kind of exists for a reason. Some people need to be cancelled, like Harvey Weinstein and Ellen and Sharon Osbourne, people who are abusive, allegedly. I don't know, I wasn't there. Allegedly abusive, and I think it's good that they get gone. I'm really not bothered by it. It's really only when it's questionable, when someone perhaps did something in the past that's been brought up in the present and they don't seem to be the same person, they've apologised, made amends, that sort of thing, that bothers me. But when someone is in the moment and they're abusive and they're fake and they're not acknowledging it and they're still covering it, which means they're still doing it, then they're still a threat to people, so they should be gone. Much like Joss Whedon and some of those other people, I think I'm kind of happy for them to be gone. Other people, they don't necessarily deserve it. Like Roseanne, I don't think she deserved it. She's legitimately mentally ill. So she had some issues there, whereas some other people are just plain nasty, hurtful, and hateful. And I think Ellen's one of those people, in my humble opinion. But, oh my God, have I been talking for 9 minutes? I didn't think I was going to get to 5. Wow, I had an opinion, apparently. But, so Ellen's gone. She's done. I mean, she's going to be on for another year because she's writing out the contract, but, she's essentially done. She's probably over in the industry because who's going to want to work with her? I mean, people kind of already knew what she was like, but it wasn't in the public. Now it's in the public, and the public know what she's like. Why would you want to see someone like that on TV? Why would you want to be audience for someone who is that nasty and that mean and will get people in restaurants fired just because she didn't like the way they looked at them or something? She didn't like the way they looked at her or something. Just those sort of bizarre, neurotic, just mean because I've got the power, and Lord knows what Portia has to deal with on a daily basis. So, you know, we should start a free Porsche hashtag or something. Get her out of there. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Do you think she's as evil as they say? Do you think she's just being cancelled because she's gay and this is all just homophobia and they're using all this to sort of get rid of her, and I'm buying into it all and helping them take out her icon, you know, people like me, gay people who aren't supporting her because they don't like her? Because just because someone's gay doesn't mean you have to support them despite them doing or being bad, in my opinion. And we have to call people out no matter who they are, whether they're straight, gay, whatever. But I'm going to go. Did I already say? Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Bye, Ellen.